The Galactic Purity Council chamber was all marble and self-importance. Floating holograms displayed legal codes nobody read. 300 alien dignitaries sat in tiered seats, looking down at the defendant's podium like judges at a particularly disappointing science fair. Marcus Stone stood at that podium, hands in pockets, looking like he'd rather be literally anywhere else. Human Marcus Stone, the High Chancellor began, his crystalline beetle body refracting light in a way that probably looked impressive at parties. You stand accused of inciting a diplomatic incident on Station Euphrates 7. Cool, Marcus said. What did I do? The Chancellor's mandibles clicked together. You claimed, and I quote from the station security logs, that you could make any female in the galaxy yours in under an hour. The Chamber's translation system hiccuped. Hard. What came out of 300 personal translators was, sexually conquer through forbidden stamina rituals. The room exploded. Gasps echoed off vaulted ceilings. A delegate from Proxima collapsed backward, helmet cracking against marble. 2 priests began chanting prayers of protection. One elderly ambassador clutched her pearls so hard they shattered. Marcus blinked. Wait, I said I could make friends with anyone. Friends. Like befriend them with conversation. Lies. The prosecutor shot to her feet, all 7 feet of emerald mantis woman rage. 12 witnesses heard you boast a stamina that would make empresses weep. Yeah, my marathon time. I run marathons. 26 miles. That's the stamina I was. You expect this council to believe, the prosecutor hissed, that humans engage in 26-mile running as recreation? Yes. Impossible. Such endurance could only be for... She lowered her voice to a scandalized whisper. Mating purposes? Marcus pinched the bridge of his nose. Oh my God! The Chancellor raised one crystalline appendage. The translation matrix has flagged your species 17 times this cycle for potential erotic warfare violations. Erotic warfare isn't real. It is now, the prosecutor snapped. Evidence suggests human biology is weaponized for seduction. The Council demands proof. Proof of what? That you are either innocent of possessing such abilities, or that you possess them, and they are not the war crime our translation matrices suggest. Marcus stared. You wanted to prove I can't seduce people, or prove I can but it's legal? Precisely. That's insane. That's justice, the Chancellor said. We require a volunteer. Someone willing to submit to stamina verification testing. The chamber fell silent. 300 aliens suddenly found the ceiling fascinating. In the 3rd row of the witness gallery, Lady Shlara of House Midnight tried very hard to keep breathing normally. She was elegant in a way her people admired, for graceful arms folded properly, purple skin the exact shade of twilight respectability, posture perfect. She wore a holographic overlay that made her look like a dowdy scholar, conservative, respectable, boring. Underneath that disguise, she was dying. She'd been watching Marcus Stone for 6 weeks. Coffee shop on Deck 9. She'd sit with a book she never read, pretending to study trade negotiations while watching him do absolutely nothing special. Laugh with friends. Stretch after workouts. Exist in that infuriatingly casual human way. It was inappropriate, undignified. Her family would disown her if they knew she harbored such thoughts about an alien. She thought about him constantly. Surely someone, the Chancellor said, in the name of science will volunteer to... Shlara's hand shot up. She didn't decide to do it. Her hand just went up, possessed by 6 weeks of forbidden interest and catastrophically poor impulse control. 3 diplomats fainted immediately. Her holographic disguise flickered, just once, just for a second, showing a glimpse of her real coloring underneath. Brighter, more vibrant, the kind of coloring respectable, noble women paid good money to suppress. She caught herself, forced the disguise stable. But Marcus saw it. She watched his eyes track the flicker, watched the corner of his mouth quirk up. Oh no, Lady Shlara of House Midnight. The prosecutor said slowly, You volunteer to be compromised by this human? Every eye in the chamber turned to her. Shlara stood, her hands clasped together in a pantomime of scientific detachment. Someone must verify his claims. For the council, for the historical record. For science? The Chancellor asked. Pure research, Schlara said, voice only shaking a little. I am willing to sacrifice my comfort for the sake of galactic knowledge. Marcus tilted his head. Ma'am, you're shaking. I'm cold. It's 78 degrees in here. I run cold. Your species is desert adapted. Schlara's second right hand twitched. Are you going to verify your stamina claims or not? The narrator would note, if anyone asked, that Schlara was a terrible liar. The room was 78 degrees. She was not cold. She was, in fact, approximately 30 seconds from spontaneous combustion. The Chancellor's mandibles clicked in what might have been approval or horror. Very well. Lady Schlara's sacrifice will be noted in the record. However, he gestured, and a shimmering energy field began forming in the center of the chamber. This verification must occur here. Now, under medical observation. 20 scanner arrays descended from the ceiling. Schlara's third heart skipped a beat. You have got to be kidding, Marcus said. You are accused of erotic warfare, the prosecutor said. We will not allow you to commit such acts in private, where evidence cannot be gathered. That's just voyeurism with extra steps. That's science. The privacy field finished forming, a translucent dome 20 feet across, smack in the middle of the chamber floor. It glowed faintly blue. Everyone could see inside. Everyone could hear muffled sounds. Schlara realized what she'd done. She'd volunteered to let this human, this incredibly attractive, infuriating human, prove his stamina. Here, now, in front of 300 witnesses, including her mother. She saw her mother in the gallery, looking like she might shatter from pure aristocratic horror. Schlara's disguise flickered again. Lady Schlara, Marcus said quietly, you can back out. Right now. No judgment. She looked at him. He was watching her carefully. No smirk now, just checking, making sure. Something in her chest twisted. I am of House Midnight, she said, lifting her chin. We do not flee from challenges. Famous last words. Are you attempting to discourage me? I'm attempting to make sure you actually want this. I volunteered, didn't I? Yeah, but... Then proceed, human. She walked toward the privacy dome, hoping her legs wouldn't give out. Or are you the one who's scared? Marcus laughed, genuinely laughed, and followed her. Oh, you're gonna be fun. Her disguise flickered a third time. Behind them, the prosecutor called out, medical scanners active, biological monitors engaged. Let the verification begin. A scholar in the front row was already taking notes. The court poet had tears in his eyes, quill hovering over parchment. The guard captain leaned toward a second. If this goes wrong, we extract Lady Schlara immediately. How will we know if it's going wrong, sir? The captain stared at the privacy dome. I have absolutely no idea. Schlara stepped through the energy field. Marcus followed. The dome sealed behind them with a soft hum. 300 aliens held their breath. Inside, Marcus looked at her. Really looked at her. So, science, huh? Schlara's four hands twisted together. Your species makes biological claims that defy standard models of endurance. I merely wish to document whether these claims are merit or are simply, her voice tried to stay steady, human bravado. Uh-huh. This is pure academic interest. Right. I am a scholar. This is research. Marcus stepped closer. Not threatening, just closer. You're cute when you lie. Schlara sputtered. I am not. This is not. I am conducting research. Your disguise is flickering again. She froze. You knew. I've known for 6 weeks. He smiled. The real you is prettier, by the way. Schlara's brain briefly ceased all higher function. 3 of her heart skipped beats in sequence. The 4th was doing enough work for all of them. That's... She managed. We're being observed by 300. Then let's give them a show worth watching. Outside, scanners were already going haywire. A biologist stared at his readouts. Her pheromone levels just spiked 400%. His colleague grabbed the scanner. Is that normal? I don't know. We've never measured arousal in a noble woman before. It's forbidden. Well, it's not forbidden now, apparently. Inside the dome, Marcus gently took one of Schlara's hands. She nearly jumped out her skin. Easy, he said. We don't have to do anything you don't want. I want, she said immediately, then caught herself. I mean, for science. I consent to the stamina verification protocol as outlined by... Schlara. She stopped. You've been watching me, he said quietly. Coffee shop on deck 9. You pretend to read, but you're always at the table with a window view of my usual spot. She wanted to die. That's strategic observation of potential diplomatic threats. You bit your lip when I stretched last Tuesday. Irrelevant data. Marcus laughed. You're adorable when you're lying through your teeth. You know that. I am a dignified member House Midnight, and I do not. He traced one finger along her arm. Her disguise flickered off completely. The gallery gasped. Her true coloring showed vibrant purples and deep magentas, the kind of dramatic beauty that her culture associated with courtesans and artists. Not respectable, not noble, scandalous. Her mother's voice carried clearly. Schlara Nightbloom, your courtesan colors are showing. Schlara panicked. Mother, I can explain. Marcus touched her chin, gently turning her face back to him. Hey, look at me, not them. She met his eyes. He was completely unfazed. No judgment, no shock, just appreciation. You're gorgeous, he said simply. I don't scare easy. Schlara's third heart exploded. Metaphorically, mostly. Outside, the prosecutor was on her feet. This is becoming indecent. We must stop. You asked for a demonstration. Marcus called out, not looking away from Schlara. The chancellor hesitated. He's technically correct. Proceed. For science. The chancellor was absolutely not thinking about science. Marcus looked down at Schlara. Last chance. You want out. She was breathing hard, all four hands now gripping his shirt. If you stop now, I will kill you myself. His grin was absolutely wicked. That's my girl. Poor Schlara, the narrator would observe, had no idea what she'd just unleashed. But she was about to find out. The privacy field wasn't private at all. Translucent at best, completely transparent at worst. Every alien in the chamber could see their silhouettes, could hear muffled voices, could watch everything. This is humane? Marcus asked the ceiling. The chancellor's voice came through the dome. You demanded your innocence be proven. We are providing the means. You're providing a fishbowl. We prefer observation theater. Of course you do. Outside, scholars were setting up additional equipment. The court poet had 3 different quills going. Translators huddled together, frantically updating their dictionaries with human slang. The guard captain addressed his troops. If things become dangerous, we extract Lady Schlara immediately. A young guard raised his hand. How will we know if it's dangerous, sir? The captain stared at the dome. When I figure that out, you'll be the first to know. Inside, Schlara was trying very hard to remember how to breathe like a normal person. Marcus stood a few feet away, giving her space. You okay? I'm fine. You're wringing your hands. All 4 of them. She looked down. He was right. I'm processing. Processing what? The fact that I just volunteered for public humiliation in front of the Galactic Council, including my mother, 3 of my exes, and the poet who wrote the saga about my family's military victories. That's a lot to process. I may have made a mistake. Marcus sat down on the floor of the dome, cross-legged, casual as anything. Want to hear something funny? Does it involve me saving face? Nope, but it might help. He patted the floor beside him. Sit. Schlara sat. Her legs didn't really want to hold her up anyway. So, Marcus said, 6 weeks ago, my friend Jake bet me I couldn't make friends with an alien noble. Said they were too stuck up. And I saw you in that coffee shop, pretending to read your book upside down. It was not upside down. It was definitely upside down. Twice. He grinned. And I thought, she's either really bad at reading or she's watching me. Schlara wanted to melt into the floor. So I started going to that coffee shop every day, Marcus continued, wondering if he'd work up the courage to talk to me. She stared at him. You knew? This whole time. I was waiting for you to make a move. I'm a noble woman of House Midnight. We don't make moves. No, you just volunteer to bang humans in front of 300 witnesses. Much more dignified. Schlara made a sound between a laugh and a sob. I've ruined everything. Or, Marcus said, leaning closer, you just did the bravest thing anyone in this chamber has ever done. Bravery implies wisdom. This was insanity. Sometimes the same thing. Outside, a biologist was having a crisis. Her neural activity is off the charts. His colleague checked the scanner. Which means what? She's either terrified or incredibly aroused. Can't IT be both? Inside, Marcus stood, offering Schlara his hand. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to talk. We're going to flirt. And if you want to take this further, we will. If you don't, we'll just chat for an hour and tell them the test was inconclusive. They'll never believe that. I don't care what they believe. He pulled her to her feet. I care what you want. Schlara looked at him. Really looked. No judgment in his eyes. No pressure. Just possibility. I want, she said slowly, to stop being afraid of what I want. Good start. What do you want right now? I want you to stop being so infuriatingly decent about this. Marcus laughed. What? You're supposed to be a brute. A seductive barbarian with no self-control. That's what the reports say about humans. The reports are written by people who've never met a human. You're making this very difficult. Making what difficult? Objectifying you. Schlara threw all 4 hands up. I've spent 6 weeks building you up in my head as this fantasy, and you're being respectful and asking consent, and I don't know what to do with that. Outside, 3 xenopsychologists were scribbling notes furiously. She's experiencing cognitive dissonance between cultural programming and genuine desire, one whispered. Fascinating. The human is dismantling her defensive structures through basic empathy. Is that legal? Marcus smiled. You want me to be less respectful? No. Maybe. I don't know. Schlara paced, all 4 arms gesturing wildly. This was supposed to be simple. You were supposed to be arrogant and overpowering, and I was supposed to pretend I was sacrificing myself for science while secretly enjoying. She stopped. She'd said too much. Marcus's smile went absolutely wicked. While secretly enjoying what, Schlara? Her name and his voice did things to her cardiovascular system that medical science would need new terminology to describe. Research, she said weakly. Try again. Data collection. Nope. I invoke my right to remain silent. This isn't a trial. It feels like one. Marcus stepped closer. You want to know what I think? No. I think you're terrified that you might actually get what you want, and then you'd have to admit you wanted it. Schlara's disguise tried to flicker back on. Failed. She'd blown through her hologram's power supply just from stress. That's not. You've been told your whole life that wanting things is undignified, Marcus continued, voice low. That noble ladies don't have desires. They have duties. Stop. But you do have desires. Strong ones. And that scares you more than this entire chamber watching. I said stop. Make me? Schlara's eyes widened. What? You heard me. He was close now. Close enough that she could feel the heat radiating off him. Human body temperature, several degrees warmer than hers. You want me to stop being decent? Stop asking permission? Then make me stop talking. Outside, the guard captain gripped his weapon. Is he threatening her? A xenopsychologist shook her head. No, he's challenging her to take what she wants. It's a dominance inversion tactic. And what now? He's submitting by refusing to initiate, forcing her to acknowledge her own agency. The captain stared. You people make everything complicated. Inside, Schlara was trembling, all 4 hands clenched into fists. You're manipulating me, she said. I'm giving you permission, Marcus corrected. There's a difference. Permission to what? To stop being Lady Schlara of House Midnight, dignified scholar, for 5 minutes. To just be Schlara, who wants something, who's allowed to take it. Her breathing was ragged now. And if I take it, then you take it. No judgment, no shame, just us. 300 witnesses. Who cares? My mother still don't care. My reputation will survive. He smiled. Or it won't, and you'll build a better one. Either way, you'll know you were brave enough to choose. Schlara's third heart was doing backflips. This was it. The moment. Choose dignity, walk away, maintain her reputation, or choose desire. Choose this human with his stupid smile, and his patient eyes, and his complete lack of fear. She grabbed his shirt with 2 hands. The other 2 went to his face. If I do this, she said, voice shaking, I'm ruining everything I built. Probably. My family will disown me. Maybe. The council will never let me live it down. Definitely not. I'll be known as the noble woman who couldn't control herself. Marcus grinned. Or the noble woman who chose herself. Perspective matters. Schlara pulled him closer. You're too clever for your own good. You're too gorgeous for yours. Shut up. Make me. She kissed him. The chamber erupted. Half the audience gasped. The other half applauded. 3 delegates fainted in sequence like dominoes. The court poet dropped all 3 quills. A scanner exploded from data overload. Pheromone spike at 800%. A biologist screamed. How is she not unconscious? The human's vitals haven't even changed. Inside the dome, Marcus kissed her back, one hand sliding to her waist, steady and sure. Schlara made a sound that caused 4 guards to drop their weapons. The guard captain looked at his troops. Did she just... Yes, sir. And he's... Yes, sir. So we don't need to... No, sir. She's fine. Very fine. Extremely fine. The captain holstered his weapon. Carry on, then... Schlara broke the kiss, gasping. That was... a start? Marcus offered. My legs don't work. We can work with that. How are you so calm? He shrugged. Back home, we call this a Tuesday. It's Thursday. Even better. She laughed, actually laughed, and pulled him back down. Outside, the prosecutor was on her feet. This is becoming indecent. We must establish boundaries before. The chancellor raised a crystalline appendage. Let them continue. For comprehensive data collection. The prosecutor sat down, muttering about academic integrity and proper protocols. She was absolutely watching like everyone else. Inside, Marcus backed Schlara against the dome's wall, gently, checking her eyes for permission. She nodded. Last chance, he said. We can still just talk. If you suggest talking one more time, Schlara breathed, I'm going to hurt you. Promises, promises. Marcus. Yes. Prove it. Prove what? Her eyes glinted. The stamina they're all terrified of. Show me if humans are really everything the reports claim. His smile was absolutely predatory. You sure about that? I've never been more sure of anything. All right then. He leaned in close, lips brushing her ear. But don't say I didn't warn you. Schlara shivered. Warn me about what? When this is over, Marcus whispered, you're going to have a very hard time pretending you didn't enjoy every second. Her 4th heart just gave up entirely. Outside, scholars were placing bets. Poets were crying. The guard captain was wondering if he should have called in sick today. And inside the dome, Marcus kept his promise. All of them. What happened next would be described 17 different ways by 17 different species, each with their own cultural euphemisms and biological blind spots. The narrator will remain tactfully vague. The reactions, however, told the whole story. Schlara made a sound, a specific sound, that caused 3 things to happen simultaneously. The court poet started weeping and scribbling frantically. 2 guards dropped their weapons, and a biologist scanner literally caught fire. Impossible! The biologist screamed, frantically patting out flames. Her endorphin levels just broke the measurement scale. His colleague stared at her readouts. His heart rate is steady at 68 beats per minute. That's resting. How is he at resting? Inside the dome, Marcus's voice came through, calm and controlled. You good? Schlara's response was incoherent but enthusiastic. I'll take that as a yes. 30 minutes passed. The guard captain checked his chrono. Should we intervene? A xenopsychologist shook her head, transfixed. She's fine. More than fine. Look at her neural scans. I'd rather not. She's experiencing sustained euphoria. No distress signals. And him. He's hydrating. The captain blinked. What? Inside the dome, Marcus was indeed drinking from a water bottle, while still very much occupied. Schlara stared at him, dazed. How are you drinking water right now? Hydration is important. I can't feel my legs. You have 6 legs. That's impressive. I have forgotten about 4 of them. He grinned. Want some water? I want. She couldn't finish the sentence. What she wanted required vocabulary that didn't exist in polite society. Say it, Marcus encouraged. I can't. Why not? Because 300 people are listening. So? They asked for a demonstration. He leaned closer. Tell me what you want, Schlara. Outside, translators were having a collective crisis. Her pheromone vocabulary is creating new words. That's not scientifically possible. Well, it's happening. 1 hour passed. The prosecutor stood. This is enough. We've gathered sufficient data. The chancellor raised an appendage. Let them continue. This is unprecedented scientific value. You just want to watch. I'm chairman of the Xenobiology Committee. This is my job. Schlara's voice echoed through the dome, another sound that made the court poet drop his quill and clutch his chest. That's it, the poet sobbed. That's my masterpiece. She's experiencing divinity. A young delegate leaned toward her senior. Is this even legal? Marcus's voice carried clearly. On Earth? Only on weekends. A scholar frantically pulled up a galactic calendar. It's Thursday on Earth right now. Guess I'm breaking the law. Marcus called back. Arrest me later. 2 hours passed. Biologists were openly crying. His stamina readings haven't dropped. Not once. He took another water break. While still going. That's not. The biologist gave up on science. He's a machine. Humans are machines. Inside, Schlara was beyond words. Every sound she made registered on seismic equipment 3 decks away. Her disguise had long since given up. Her courtesan colors blazed bright enough to light the dome. She didn't care anymore. Marcus brushed hair from her face. Still with me? She nodded, incapable of speech. Need a break? She shook her head violently. If he stopped now, she'd actually kill him. 3 hours passed. The guard captain was drinking. Not on duty, but desperate times. His second-in-command stood beside him. Sir, should we? No, but it's been 3 hours. I'm aware. Humans aren't supposed to have 3 hours. The captain took another drink. Clearly, we've been misinformed. Inside, Marcus stretched, while Schlara tried to remember her own name. You tired? He asked. I transcended tired 2 hours ago. Now I'm approaching spiritual enlightenment. He laughed. Want to keep going? If you stop now, I'm filing a war crime. That's the spirit. For hours, the biologist who'd been tracking data collapsed into a chair. 5 separate times. 5. Her colleague stared blankly. With water breaks, she confirmed. He's not even breathing hard. She can't remember her family name. They sat in silence, contemplating the cosmic horror of human endurance. Inside the dome, Schlara reached her absolute limit. Her voice cracked. Her 6 legs gave out completely, and every scanner in the chamber overloaded simultaneously. The sound she made cracked 2 viewing screens. Silence fell over the entire chamber. Then, slowly, impossibly, half the gallery stood and applauded. The other half was too shocked to move. The court poet clutched his manuscript. I must inform the archives. This is history. This is legend. A biologist wiped tears from her face. I need to rethink everything I know about biology. Same. Want to get drunk after this? Absolutely. Inside the dome, Schlara collapsed against Marcus, boneless and bliss beyond rational thought. Science, she managed to say. Marcus supported her weight easily. Very thorough research. I have extensive notes. Yeah, in my brain. That no longer works. He laughed, helping her sit. You okay? I've transcended okay. I've achieved a state beyond mortal comprehension. So that's a yes? That's a I can't feel anything below my third thorax, and I've never been happier. Outside, the Chancellor slowly stood. This council has witnessed. He paused, searching for words that wouldn't exist in official records. Humanity is hereby declared a Class 7 romantic hazard. The prosecutor shot to her feet. We must quarantine them. A young delegate, eyes glazed, murmured, or marry them. Quarantine, the prosecutor snapped. The Chancellor continued. The human has proven his claims were, if anything, understated. All charges are dropped. Marcus helped Schlara to her feet. She immediately collapsed. He caught her. Can I go now? He asked. You may go, the Chancellor said. But you're banned from 7 sectors. Which 7? Whichever 7 contain our daughters. The gallery erupted in laughter. The privacy dome dropped. 300 aliens got a clear view of Schlara, completely wrecked, held upright only by Marcus's arm, looking like she'd seen the face of God and flirted with it. A dignity blanket appeared from nowhere. Someone draped it over her shoulders. She clutched it, staring at nothing. You good? Marcus asked quietly. I'll never be good again, Schlara whispered. I've been ruined for all other experiences. That's pretty dramatic. You ruined me. In a good way? She laughed, slightly hysterical but genuine. In the best possible way. Her mother's voice cut through the chamber. You have shamed House Midnight. Schlara's aunt appeared beside her mother, smacking her arm. Are you kidding? She's a legend. I received 37 marriage proposals for her already. She consorted with a human. In public. She proved humans are the galaxy's best-kept secret. The aunt winked at Schlara. Smart girl. Schlara was too exhausted to respond. Marcus was still holding her up. I can't feel my everything, she told him. That'll pass. When? Few hours. Maybe a day. A day? Back home, we call this Tuesday. She stared at him. It's Thursday. He grinned. Even better. And despite everything, the scandal, the shame, the 300 witnesses, Schlara laughed until she cried. Marcus was helping her toward the exit when the prosecutor blocked their path. One moment. She pulled up a holographic document. For the record, Lady Schlara, do you wish to file any complaint against a human? Schlara blinked slowly, brain still rebooting. Complaints. Discomfort. Coercion. Excessive anything. The only complaint I have, Schlara said carefully, is that it ended. 12 delegates fainted. The prosecutor's mandibles clicked in frustration. Very well. You're both dismissed. They made it 3 steps before Schlara's legs gave out again. Marcus caught her, sighing. I'm fine, she insisted. You can't walk. It's a temporary condition. It's been 10 minutes. Give me another 10. He just picked her up, all 4 of her arms instinctively wrapped around his neck. The gallery watched them leave. The whisper started immediately. Did you see? For hours. She couldn't even stand. Do you think all humans are like that? I'm going to Earth. You're married? I'm going to Earth. Outside the chamber, Schlara's mother caught up to them. Schlara Midnight Bloom, we need to discuss your complete abandonment of propriety. Not now, Mother. Not now. You just in front of the entire. Schlara's aunt appeared, pulling her sister back. Let them go. She's earned a rest. She's earned disgrace. She's earned a promotion. The aunt smiled. House Midnight just became the most talked about family in 6 sectors. Our trade applications will triple by morning. The mother paused. They will? Absolutely. Everyone wants to meet the house brave enough to let their daughter choose a human. She winked at Marcus. Well done, by the way. Thanks. Marcus said, still carrying Schlara. They turned the corner. Finally alone. You can put me down now, Schlara said. You'll fall. Probably. Put me down anyway. He set her down gently. She wobbled, grabbed a wall for support. Okay, she admitted. I can't walk. Notice. This is humiliating. This is biology. He leaned against the opposite wall. You okay? Like, actually okay? Schlara looked at him. Really looked. I just had the most intense experience of my life in front of 300 witnesses, including my mother. My reputation is destroyed. My family is fighting. I can't feel my legs. So bad. I've never been happier. She laughed, sliding down the wall to sit. Is that insane? Little bit. He sat across from her, but the good kind of insane. They sat in silence for a moment. What happens now? Schlara asked quietly. What do you want to happen? I don't know. I've never done anything like this before. I've never chosen something just because I wanted it. Marcus tilted his head. How's it feel? Terrifying. Exhilarating. I might throw up. Please don't. She laughed again. I'm serious, though. What happens? Do we just go back to our lives? Pretend this was a one-time scientific demonstration? Do you want to be one-time? Schlara's 4 hands twisted together. I may need follow-up research to verify data consistency. His smile was slow and wicked. Science does require repeated trials. Purely academic, she said, trying to sound serious. Obviously, multiple data points ensure statistical validity. That's very rigorous of you. I'm a thorough researcher. I notice. She bit her lip. Tonight, I'll bring wine. You bring whatever dignity you have left. I left my dignity somewhere around hour 2. Perfect. He stood, offering his hand. See you at 8? She took it, letting him pull her up. My quarters. Deck 7. Don't be late. Wouldn't dream of it. He walked away, and Schlara watched him go, still leaning against the wall because her legs were useless. She should feel ashamed, embarrassed, horrified. Instead, she felt alive. Her comm device buzzed. 17 messages. She ignored all of them, except one from her aunt. Proud of you. Also, I need details later. For science. Schlara smiled. 3 days later, the court poet's epic was published. The Human Who Feared No Ruin. It became the galaxy's best-selling erotic poetry collection in under a week. Schlara's family's trade applications did. In fact, triple. Apparently, Scandal was excellent for business. The council added a new regulation. Human-alien romantic encounters require stamina waivers and mandatory recovery periods. Marcus framed his copy. And Schlara? She conducted research 3 times a week for the next 2 years. Sometimes 4 when her schedule allowed. She never got her dignity back. She didn't miss it one bit. Her mother eventually came around, especially after Schlara negotiated the largest trade deal in House Midnight's history, while the other delegates were still recovering from meeting Marcus at the reception dinner. You're using him as a strategic weapon, her mother accused. I'm using him as a boyfriend, Schlara corrected. The strategic advantage is just a bonus. The guard captain from the tribunal retired early. The therapy bills were getting expensive. The biologists who'd monitored the demonstration published their findings. The paper was titled, Reconsidering Human Biological Limits, a Case Study in Endurance. It won awards. The translator who'd started the whole mess with the mistranslation got promoted. Turns out accidentally starting a scandal that redefined human-alien relations was good for your career. And Marcus? Marcus kept being himself. Casual, unbothered, occasionally showing up to diplomatic functions where his mere presence caused 3 species to blush and 2 to faint. The galaxy learned an important lesson. Humans weren't just resilient, clever, or brave. They were romantically lethal. Class 7 romantic hazard status became humanity's unofficial badge of honor. They wore it proudly. And the aliens? They stopped pretending to be scandalized somewhere around year 2. Most of them were too busy getting in line. The end. Or as Marcus would say, back home, we call this Tuesday. It was Thursday. It was always Thursday. And that made it even better.